Hello everyone, welcome to the YouTube channel that nobody knows about, and I'm going to be telling you my opinions on things football that nobody actually cares about. So we're all going to have a great time. This video is all about the top 11 signings to watch out for this season in the English Premier League. So without further ado, let's get on with it. So first off, we had to go with a goalkeeper. Now it's been a bit of a stretch, a bit of a struggle with the goalkeepers this season with signings. However, there is a goalkeeper in the rumour mill. Mamardashvili, the Georgian goalkeeper. Liverpool are in talks with buying Mamardashvili and sending him on loan to Bournemouth. So I think this has to be the goalkeeper to watch for sure this season. He had a really good Euros, very, very impressive. Boosted his price tag quite a lot. And Bournemouth look like they're spending a little bit of money this season, thanks to Dominic Solanke and that sale to Tottenham. So that's my goalkeeper if he comes to the Premier League. I know it's a bit of a cop-out. You might be thinking, well, he's not definitely signed yet. Hopefully by the time this video is out, he's signed. But yeah, Mamardashvili. Coming in at right back, Manchester United have signed a player, Mazraoui, and I'm really interested from Bayern Munich to see how this player does. He's been around for quite a while. Like we've heard his name out there, and now it's time to see what he's like in the Premier League. It does worry me a little bit if Bayern Munich are willing to let him go. Is he of that level? Is he of that ilk? It'd be interesting to see what Erik ten Hag can get out of him. But Mazraoui, for me, it's an exciting little player to come to the Premier League. I think he's the right back to keep an eye on this season for sure. Coming in at centre-back, one of my centre-backs is a bit out there. This is a player that's come through the rankings in the French league, made a bit of a name for himself in the French division, which doesn't usually happen, especially considering he's Irish. Everton have signed a centre-back called Jake O'Brien. He looks like a promising prospect. He's been highly touted in the French league. A lot of people have spoke highly of him. I've seen murmurs online about this Irish centre half in the French league. So now it's time to see how he does in the Everton back line. Now Everton usually do quite well with signing defenders for the most part. Like they've had some great signings over the years. Leighton Baines, players like Branthwaite, or you're looking at players like Seamus Coleman. What signings, that is great business. So Jake O'Brien, keep an eye on him. He could be a player to watch if they sell Branthwaite. Next up, I may butcher this name, and I apologise. My next player is a centre-back, one that most of you will probably be expecting on this list. Calafiori for Arsenal. The Euros can kind of blur your vision a little bit on players, and this player was quite exciting. A lot of people were talking about him. Bit of a statement from Arsenal, really, because a lot of clubs were looking at him, and they got their business done quite early. Big statement from Arsenal, Calafiori. If I've butchered your name, I'm sorry, but watch out for him. Now listen, go easy on me in the comments, all right? But this was tricky. Left back. From what I've seen, there's not many left backs. I may be wrong. Hopefully I am. There's not many great left backs that I see have been signed. So I'm just going to have to chuck in another defender and we'll wing it. It's going to be Euro for Manchester United. Now, the only reason he's not in my centre-back partnership was because he's just picked up an injury in pre-season. But he looks like a good player. Solid, confident. Doesn't look particularly big in stature for a centre-half, for a centre-back, but he's going to be a bit of a problem for a lot of strikers, I imagine, when he gets fit again. So he's coming in at left-back. Listen, I'm going for a 4-4-2 formation, all right? Old school, we're going with it. Euro, you're in. Central midfielders, this was a bit tricky. There's not been a few standout players, but for me there's two. Emile Smith-Rowe for Fulham. I think this is his season for different reasons. One, I think he's been sat on the precipice of the Arsenal squad for a long time. It's just unfortunate that they've had a lot of great experienced players and reliable players in central midfield for Arsenal over the years that he struggled to break into that team. Now in a club like Fulham, I think he's going to get given that freedom to play, the freedom to roam a little bit and kind of dictate the game. A lot of things for Fulham are going to go through him this season. He's going to be looking at the England setup. That might sound crazy to you guys right now, but Lee Carsley, who currently is the England interim manager, was manager of the under-21s, and Emile Smith-Rowe was a huge part of that team. So Emile Smith-Rowe will be looking at that and probably thinking, hey, there's a possible way in now. So I expect him to turn up the heat this season for Fulham, and I'm really excited to see what Emile Smith-Rowe has to offer. I'm sure a lot of you guys are, because he's been that player for a while that we've wanted to just see what's he got and can he step up to this level. Next up, we have Archie Gray. Archie Gray, a signing from Leeds to Tottenham Hotspur. Exciting young player. This is a very intriguing signing because he's only really had one strong, solid season for Leeds, in the Championship. So it's going to be a bit of an unknown entity, really. Fully aware that he probably won't get that many minutes for Tottenham. Maybe the cup runs, and when they're 2-3-0 up against certain teams, he might get brought on to show what he's got. But I think Archie Gray's going to be a player to watch. Let me know if you agree. By the way, if you've seen any other players that have been signed in the Premier League and you think they're going to be a standout player, they're a player to watch, then let me know. Put it in the comments. I'd love to see what you think. Now, my winger, my right midfielder, has to be Minter for Brighton. They bought him for 35 million from Newcastle. This guy looks strong. He's quick. He has end product, which is probably the hardest thing to find in most wingers. You get some wingers over the years that have probably not provided that much quality in terms of end product, but this guy looks like he could have it all. He genuinely could. I think Minter is going to be a serious breakthrough player this season for Brighton. I love the way that Brighton play. They play like a fluid, a freedom, and attacking. They're not scared to just go for it. So their style, I think, suits him. With him on one side, Mitoma on the other. I know Evan Ferguson's currently injured, but if you can make Danny Welbeck look good, I think you're in with a good shout of having a good season. So Minter, watch him for Brighton on the wing. Honourable mention, another winger for Brighton, Koscielny Dubry. Now, Arsenal fans will know this name. Koscielny Dubry. He's been around the under-21 setup for a long time for Arsenal. Been very prevalent there. Scored a lot of goals, a lot of assists. Been around the scene for a while. So he's an exciting player. I don't think he'll get many minutes, but I think over the next few years, Koscielny Dubry could be a little breakout star. So on to my next winger on the other side. Not really going to be a surprise. It's actually Manchester City's only signing so far this season. Savio or Savinho. I'm not sure what his actual name is because it's always changing. So Savio, he was on loan last season to Girona. And to get him for the price they've got him for, I think 25 million, after what he's done for Girona last season, is a quality signing. It's really good. He looks good. He reminds me, his kind of stature, build, the way he plays, and even the same number, I think, Mahrez. I feel like he could be kind of a similar style player to Mahrez. And with Oscar Bob now being injured, it looks like Savio could get more minutes than probably what he was expecting. So Savio this season on the wing, definitely a player to watch. Strikers, the exciting part of the pitch. There actually aren't that many exciting strikers that I've seen being signed for the Premier League. However, there's the obvious one. There's Fulkrug for West Ham. Now, he's going to be in my team, Fulkrug for sure. I think he's wiry, he's experienced. I think he's going to suit the Premier League. He's not going to be scared to throw himself about. I mean, he's got a missing tooth. You're rich. You're a rich footballer with a missing tooth. That says a lot. Now, that's a statement. This guy's not scared to throw his head in where it's going to hurt. With the players around him like Bowen, Paqueta and Somerville they've just signed. It's going to be an interesting season for Fulkrug. I think he's going to hit the ground running. My last player in this starting 11 to watch is going to be a player called Igor Thiago for Brentford. A bit of an unknown player, but scored goals wherever he's been, and a lot of them. Brentford, again, are a team that kind of suit that style of player up front. Ivan Toney, Buemo. If Tony goes, Thiago could be a great fit for that team. I think he's an exciting player to watch. I mean, he came with a big price tag, so kind of a lot of pressure on him. So I'm expecting Ivan Toney to get shipped out and get sold if they've spent 30+ million on this striker that's relatively unknown. So it's going to be Thiago. Now, honourable mentions. I've already mentioned Koscielny Dubry, but there's other players on this list that deserve an honourable mention that I think could turn out to be some good little players, good signings. This whole video could go drastically wrong. I remember the first season Gervinho came to Arsenal. I put him in my dream team. First game, red card, I think, and disaster. So we could either come back to this video in a year's time and think, crikey, he knows his stuff, or I'm an absolute weapon and I don't know anything. Honourable mentions. Kamada, another winger for Crystal Palace. I think he's going to be an exciting player. Keep an eye on him. Ipswich have just signed Sammy Smodics from Blackburn. He had a very good season last year. Again, a bit of a strange player because I think he's played more of a central attacking midfielder most of his career. And then last season for Blackburn, scored 28 goals, I believe, or close to 30 goals in the Championship. It's not the Premier League, but still, to get moved into a striker's position and score that many goals, and he's hit the ground running this season with goals in the turn of the season. So Sammy Smodics, given the run out for Ipswich, could be a player. I just worry that Ipswich they've got a lot to do. Ipswich don't have a strong team at all, but looks like they're getting some last-minute signings in with Calvin Phillips and Sammy Szmodics. So, you know, yeah, keep an eye on Sammy Szmodics. Now, the last one, Rodrigo Gomez for Wolves. I think this is going to be a player. Now, Pedro Neto has been shipped to Chelsea. Another player to Chelsea. I mean, when's it going to end? Are they going to leave any players for anyone else? Pedro Neto gone, Gomez in. I think this is going to be a player that will surprise a few people. He's come out of nowhere. He's a young player. He's a winger, exciting, can find the back of the net. Whereas Neto, as exciting as he is, maybe sometimes lacked that killer instinct in front of goal. Don't think this player has that issue. So I'm excited to see what Rodrigo Gomez can do for Wolverhampton. And I actually think Wolves are going to have a bit of an underdog season. So they're my underdogs this season to get into to break into like the top 7 or 8 of the league. And I think they're going to have a very, very surprising season for everyone. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the subscribe button, throw me a like and a comment, please. Like, I know your clubs have probably signed a lot of players. Maybe there's somebody there that you've been seeing and you've been watching that has excited you and you're excited to see them this season. Let me know. Fire it in the comments, and I'll keep up the football content. Let's see what the season brings. Good luck. See you soon.